Hi, this is Brian Jones from Valhalla Academy in Frankfort, Kentucky, and this is Mat Chat. Today's Mat Chat topic is the role of takedowns in jiu-jitsu in both a sporting context and in a self-defense context. So, we've often heard that all fights end up on the ground. Well, that may be a little bit of a skewed statistics. I don't think all fights end up on the ground. A majority of them do, so it's important to know how to grapple. But grappling truly starts from the feet, and in all jiu-jitsu tournaments start from the feet, and a great majority of street fights or attacks in the street will start from the feet. It's possible that somebody could attack you while you're seated or lying down on the beach or something like that, but usually it starts from the feet. So let's look at the role of takedowns in sport context. Well, first of all, takedowns score. They score points. In almost every tournament, I know there's not a standardization of tournament rules in every single tournament, although it's a movement towards that, you'll typically get 2 points for a takedown. So that's a good reason to train the takedown. If you have that advantage over your opponent going into the match, you get the takedown, which often lands you in a good position, and if it's a good, clean, hard throw, then you actually have a little bit of free time as they're sort of rattled. The opponent's rattled, maybe the wind's knocked out of them. You can either bypass the guard completely or get a very strong attempt at a guard pass to score again. Given that people are matched up by weight and by skill, you're not going to get the kind of mismatches that you would in an open class type tournament. So those 2 points may mean the difference between winning and losing the match. So it's always good to hit the mat 2 points up. Okay, it's always good to hit the mat 2 points up. Now sometimes people won't give you the opportunity, or maybe and they'll pull guard. Okay, that happens. Sometimes the person's going to be better than you, in which case it's to your advantage to pull guard and attempt to sweep and get on top, which will give you your 2 points. So, but the ultimate role of the takedown is to move from the standing position into a position of dominance. Let's contrast Judo and Jiu-Jitsu for a second. In Judo, the goal is to score ippon, a full point. So the ref raises his hand straight up and you score ippon. Half point wazari. So you're trying to get a point or portion of a point off of the takedown. So if you throw, let's say you throw someone for ippon, which is defined as basically throwing a person with force more or less flat on their back, and you immediately win the match. It doesn't matter if you rotate over and the person ends up on top of you at the end of the exchange. You win as soon as that person's back touches the mat. In Jiu-Jitsu, it's different. So in Jiu-Jitsu, you need after throw control. So you need to be able to stick your throws so that you don't get re-rolled. There's no advantage to taking a person down if it ends you in a bad position. So the purpose of the throw in the sporting context is to get the person to the ground and land in a dominant position, to make a positive transition from standing to ground. Maybe you'll be in the guard, okay, and you'll still score your points. Maybe you'll end up in half guard. Maybe you'll end up in cross-side or some other pin like a scarf hold. So all of those are perfectly fine. So we're going to train ourselves, because I could take somebody to the ground by bear hugging them, laying down, and pulling them into mount. Okay? That's technically a takedown, but that did nothing to me, for me, except give the other person mount points. So I don't want to do that. So I want to make sure that my takedowns leave me in a good position. Now let's skip ahead to the role of takedowns in self-defense situation. So again, let's go back to that thing. All fights end up on the ground. I don't think all fights end up on the ground. A lot of them do, and it's important to know how to grapple on the ground. That's why I think jiu-jitsu is a very superior art. Once a person gets into an altercation, the typical way that this goes is a couple of punches are exchanged, and then the people will actually make physical contact into a standing grappling situation. They're going to be pulling and tugging, and maybe more punches are thrown, but this gives a perfect opportunity for someone skilled in the takedown to land that person really hard on the ground and possibly take them out of the fight without ever having to go to the ground and do anything else. So in the situation of a street fight, we have I call the X factor. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if this person has friends that we may not see that may come at us from a blind angle. So we don't want to get involved in a grappling match on the ground and have his friend run up and soccer kick us in the face where we don't even see it coming. So it's to our advantage of the takedown in the street fight is to throw the person and then maintain a standing position, or if we do happen to get to the ground, then do a little damage and pop back up. Hopefully the throw does enough damage. I like to say that it's good to have a weapon, an equalizer. I'd prefer to hit somebody with the biggest thing around. That thing happens to be the earth. So if you can hit somebody with the earth, you're doing pretty good. Most people don't know how to fall properly, and even those that do aren't going to take a fall very well on pavement. So you can YouTube a lot of street fight videos, and you'll notice when people get thrown really hard, they don't tend to get up very quickly. And this is going to give you an opportunity in a self-defense situation to leave. If you can't leave, you have an opportunity to continue the attack or to look around and make sure that the area is clear of other attackers, because the statistic is about 52% of predatory attacks involve more than one person. So you're going to want to look around and make sure that nobody else is in the area and is going to blindside you. So let's recap here. Sport jiu-jitsu. We want to take the person down and land in a position of control. We want to land with them, make it a continuous motion, stick them, and never break contact, really, so that the match is seamless. We go into this ground situation and we score our points and hopefully get in a position where we can make a quick attack and end the match. In a street fight situation, we want to do the maximum amount of damage to the person on the throw, while trying to stay on our feet if possible. And if not, we want to try to bounce back up as quick as we can and re-attack. So if that person is getting up slowly, then we can throw a kick or a punch if we need to. Okay, if it's justified, we can throw a kick or a punch to kind of finish that person off before they can do us any more harm. So this has been Brian Jones from Valhalla Academy in Frankfort, Kentucky. If you like what you hear, consider liking this video, share it with your friends, and click the subscribe button above so that you don't miss any more of the content from the channels. I'm leaving the comments box open. I like discussion on this, so please feel free to leave your comments below. Agree, disagree. Debate's always good, brings that stuff out. This is Brian Jones reminding you to train hard, train smart, and train often. Thanks.